We do it all. Overnights, you name it, country music, rock music, classic soul music, everything. Everything, everything. You're listening to 910 a.m., the Superstation. Greg Russell here, the Greg Russell Show, part of the Russell Legacy programming from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday. And we've been having a great time. This is first show um, that I'm doing for the station. And glad to be here, but most importantly, glad to be here to represent my brother Cliff. And again, thanks to all of the listeners out there, who, like I said, went out of your way to get in touch with family members to give us your condolences and give us your thoughts and give us your love. It is something that truly, truly will never be forgotten. Our phone number here is 313-778-7600. If you'd like to give a call, that's what John did. So we're going to talk to him. Hello, John.
Yeah, how you doing? Congratulations on your first show.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
I missed the guest. I was going to ask you about this one black director called John Singleton.
Yeah, John Singleton.
Then like Compton or Boys in the Hood.
Right.
Whatever happened to him?
He's still out there. He's working on a new movie now. As a matter of fact, I can't think of the title of it, but he's still there. Just like F. Gary Gray, even Spike Lee. Of course, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's got, he's got his formula going where there's a Medea movie every year. So, you know that you'll see that. But yeah, he's still out there.
One of my favorite directors is Spike Lee. I watched Do the Right Thing and Jungle Fever and a few other his movies, and he's a great director. He's kind of controversial, but he's always worth a listen.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. Like I said, his movies would always have, a point. Because, one of the best ones he ever did was, of course, Malcolm X. Everyone, now loves that movie, talked about how it should have gotten more award consideration. That one should have been the one that won Denzel Washington second Academy Award. But because of the time and because, when that movie came out, Malcolm X was still looked at as being more so of a polarizing figure that the Hollywood elite were not going to do anything along that line. But guaranteed they probably would do something, that way today.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Malcolm X movie. They played that one song by, what's his name? It was coming out, he played it in the car. He was listening to it in the car. He was going to that venue. It was...
I haven't seen that movie in so long, I couldn't even tell you.
A Time Is Gonna Come.
Oh, Sam Cooke, yes. There you go. Yeah, good song. Good song. All right, John. Well, thank you so much for calling.
Love everything.
Right, man. You take care. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Don't forget, number here is 313-778-7600. Let's go to Jerry. Hey, Jerry.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Greg.
How are you?
How are you?
Doing well, and yourself?
Yeah, very good. My condolences. I wasn't able to get with you a few weeks ago when you're on, but my condolences for the family.
Thank you so much.
One thing I've noticed, you and Cliff have the same mannerisms. I've seen it when I've seen you on live on the show.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I like
great.
It. Anyway, I just have a question about Cliff. We know he had a really good collegiate career, and I was just wondering after that if he ever got drafted by a pro team or got tryouts or played in Europe or anything like that in basketball.
No, he didn't because things were different, back then. The funny part, though, two teams that did try to recruit Cliff, two professional teams, one was the Dallas Cowboys and the other were the Seattle Seahawks. They wanted to have him come out and try out as a wide receiver. Because, back then it was a deal. That was when they started looking at, taller guys with good hands. Cliff also did play football, as well, and was a wide receiver. But yeah, he received letters, from them. I think he did go, back then to their training camps, or at least to go for an interview. But yeah, those were the big two. And back then as well, there weren't as many professional NBA teams. And so by Cliff leaving UTEP and then coming to Wayne State, at the time, and it's so great actually the way things are now, where I was watching television over the weekend and there were two schools, like the University of Illinois Chicago playing the University of Wisconsin Green Bay, and that game was on TV. As you remember, back in the day, that game would have never been on TV because they only had, the three networks. And even when they expanded maybe to some other, sports networks, they weren't going to put on a game that small. Well, now, you've got a good team and there's so many networks that they will air whatever your basketball team is. So back when Cliff was playing at Wayne State, they didn't get as much exposure as, say like at that time as the University of Detroit was. And that's because they, had Dick Vitale and he got the team, to go into the tournament. And then when Dick went on to become coach of the Detroit Pistons, that's, of course, when he drafted basically the entire University of Detroit team.
Oh, okay. All right. That was interesting. Yep. I was always wondering if he got a chance to play after college. So.
No, it was basically right after college he got married and, started a family and then started his broadcast career.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Gary, thanks so much for calling. Don't forget, the number here is 313-778-7600. We are going to go back on the line right now to Maria or Marla. Marla. Hello, Marla.
Hi, how are you? I tried to get through to the guy because I thought you were going to take the call. Say, what do you think the copy of Marvel Black Panther, 1960, I think that's 62 copy, still in the pack?
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got that?
Got that.
Marla, you're my new best friend. No,
all right.
I can actually check with some friends. I mean, if you want, just take a picture of it and, you can send it to us here.
There?
Yeah, truthfully, I don't know, how much comic books are. Is that the first one? Is that the first edition that ever came out?
No, that's not the first.
Okay.
Is that the Comic-Con I was trying to find out too? Does that involve Comic-Con? So where would you send the photo? Do you have an address?
Oh, well, if you send it to me, I've got a friend who actually, that's a business that he has.
Okay.
Yeah, he, comic book collector, comic book writer, comic book seller. And so, he would know the people, even just to show it to, like I said. So
okay.
Just send a picture, that way.
Sure,
wow.
No problem.
Now, what made you decide to hold on to that one for the longest, which thank goodness you did?
My son was given to him, and he doesn't know I'm calling, but he'd be surprised when I tell him what's up. I just want to just be on the down low with it,
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So do you have a address, or do I stay online?
Actually, what we'll do, we'll have you, once you and I get off, we'll just have you stay online, and
okay.
we can get, like your email address or something like that, and, send you, back and forth.
Cool.
But no, that's great. And that is a good thing to have held on to. I mean, I wish that I had the comic books that I had when I was a little boy.
Don't we all?
Oh, that's for sure.
Wonder Woman, for sure. My condolences to the family, too.
Oh.
You guys are doing an excellent job. And he's looking down and said, okay, brothers, carry on.
You got it. Marla, thank you so much. Please call back again.
You're welcome.
All right. Don't forget, our number is 313-778-7600. And I mean, I think that's something from all the people of my generation, mine and Cliff's and our brother Mike. When we were little boys, we all would go out and buy comic books. Because back then you could buy a comic book depending anywhere from a nickel to a dime or 12 cents. That's what they cost. And so we all had these great big collections. But, as we got older, you didn't understand what was necessarily going to go on. Neither did your parents. So they're just going to throw them away. I know a lot of mine actually got wrecked in a flood because I had them in the basement at my mom's house, and she had a flood and it just hit the cabinet that they were all sitting in. So boom, that pretty much took care of everything right there. But like now the comic books we bought, like for our son when he was a little boy, and even some of the stuff that I get for my grandkids, which kind of like gets them a little cheesy because I'll give them a toy and tell them not to take it out of the box. And they'll go, well, why not, Grandpa? I said, because it's a collectible. Then why did you give it to us? So you can hold on to it. And I know it doesn't make much sense to them, but I still do give them other toys, where they can sit up, play with, and enjoy. 313-778-7600. If you got any comic book stories that you would like to pass along, things from any, say, collectible that you may have, or something that you're looking for, because every year you always hear some story about somebody finding a copy of Action Comics #1. That, of course, was the debut appearance of Superman. And that is kind of like the holy grail in regards to comic books. That's the one that if anybody can get their hands on, that is the one that they truly, truly want. And people are paying a lot of money out there for that book. I mean, it's gone as high as I've heard, into the millions of dollars, for one that is pristine, no curves or no, tears or anything like that. So that might be another reason to definitely hold on to some of your comic books and see what may come up, as well as some of the collectible toys too. You've got like a Spider-Man toy from Captain Action, actually, really from the 1960s. If you happen to have one of those as Spider-Man and it is unopened, that is kind of like your kid's college tuition right there. Very easy. So what we're going to do is go back on the line and we're going to talk to Bob. Hello, Bob.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I was going to tell you, when I was 16, I started collecting Amazing Spider-Man comics, and now I'm almost 50 now, so I've had them for a while. But I just decided to unload them this past summer, and I got about $25,000 for them.
Wow.
And they were I collected pretty decent shape ones, but it was time to my kids. I tried showing them and letting them look at them, read some of the the not too great colors. They just weren't into it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to save them for you then.
Right. Because it'll be like you go over one day. Oh, these are nice placemats. These are my comic books.
Yep. I had Stan Lee sign the #1 too.
Oh.
And that was really hard to get rid of just because his signature, and he's still around. So.
Oh, that had to be great. Now, how did that come about? How did you wind up getting Stan Lee's autograph?
In 2010, he was here at in Dearborn. He was doing a comic book show, and you had to pay money to see him. And he was like my hero since I was young.
Right.
So I made something I wanted to give to him. I made a aluminum polished plaque with my favorite cover.
Right.
And I went and showed the owner of the store who was putting on the show. I went and showed him what I planned on doing because I didn't want to freak anybody out by giving him this thing, and nobody knows what it is. And he said it was so cool that he wanted me to meet Stan Lee the night before at their meet and greet. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's happening. And the day he goes, I can't get you in for the dinner because that's already taken care of, but we'll come down and get you later. So I stayed there like 9 o'clock. And when I walked in that room, Stan Lee, he goes, hey, Stan, here's somebody wanting to meet. And it was like I had my celebrity moment where he is genuinely appreciated. I mean, he is everything you would think he would be. He's an awesome person. He was humbled by what I that somebody wanted to do that for him. It was just, he's an awesome guy. So.
And that's great to hear too. Because I mean, would be nothing worse than to meet, your hero or the person you always liked, and you find out, oh, okay, they're not, all that happy or whatever. But yeah, no, that is great, and I'm glad that he appreciated and liked, what you put together and made for him. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All right.
I enjoy the show. Thank you.
Bob, thank you so much, and I'll probably see you at a Comic-Con coming up very soon, that's for sure. You're listening to 910 AM, the Superstation. Greg Russell here on the Greg Russell Show, part of the Russell Legacy tour. And right now we're going to go to Amadou